Look back when you're old and gray and think those dumb kids had a lot to say when we were trying to make this night one you'd remember. I don't care if my wheels don't turn, I don't care if my pipe don't burn, as long as I am flowing through your veins after I'm gone away.
It's Thursday night, and you know what that means.
And I can't wait for today's show, but first, it's the start of the show, so what does that mean?
Joke of the week.
Hi, we're Loops and Lap Bars, and we've got a question for you.
Where are average things manufactured?
The Satisfactory.
The best one we've had so far. Had you already had that one before? I don't know if you've had it.
I did the heart back as well. Sorry, no one saw that.
But we're going to get straight into it because CoasterCon was a big thing, and I'm very jealous of that Ace had CoasterCon because we don't really have anything that big in this country. But we're going to introduce them one by one. First, we have got the Director of Communications at Ace. It's Derek Perry. How you doing, Derek?
Great to see you again. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, how have you been since we've last saw you?
We've been good, busy but good. Lots of roller coasters opening up, and of course CoasterCon. We had to prepare for that, so it's been a non-stop couple months. But yeah, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And next we've got the newly appointed, isn't it, manager of social media team. It is Doug Perry. How you doing, Doug?
Hi. How are you doing? Great to see you.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, how about you?
Great here.
Yeah. And last but not least, we've got first time on the show, Jessica Gardner. How you doing?
Hi, good. So excited to be here and meet you all. That was a great joke, by the way. I'm definitely
I didn't write it.
Satisfactory.
That was a satisfactory joke.
Oh,
more than satisfactory. I was laughing.
No, it was fun. It was very funny.
So before we get into CoasterCon, and there's going to be a lot about CoasterCon, I just want to ask Jessica, because it's the first time on the show, have you got a memory from when you first got the passion for theme parks and roller coasters?
Oh, absolutely. My parents had their honeymoon in Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And so growing up, that was our go-to vacation every year from when I was 7. I remember getting on the monorail the first time and singing the Pointer Sisters, "I'm So Excited," and just seeing the castle for the first time. But I also remember riding Space Mountain for the first time back when they didn't have the restraints like they do now, and honestly feeling, not understanding and feeling like I was going to fall out. So I banned roller coasters from my life. After that, we had a local theme park in Rhode Island where I'm from and the Perry twins are from, called Rocky Point. And I would never go on the roller coasters there. And then I was 12 years old and there were some boys. I was a little boy crazy as a 12-year-old. And we went to what was then called Riverside Park, which is now called Six Flags New England. And the boys wanted to ride the Thunderbolt, and I didn't want my friend Brooke to be by herself in line with these boys because I thought she was going to take them. So I got in line. And I loved that coaster. I forced myself to go on it and had a blast and wanted to ride every other coaster in the park, back to Rocky Point, every single roller coaster there, back to Disney, Space Mountain a million times. So, and I've been obsessed ever since.
So if it wasn't for those boys, you might not have.
It's true. You say what you want about being boy crazy, but now they got me coaster crazy, and that's even better. That's way better than being boy crazy. Is being coaster crazy.
I've got some people in the live chat. I will flash it up every now and then, but I don't want to cover Jessica too much.
Hi, Doug.
I was going to say welcome everyone that's come to watch us today as well. If you've got any questions in the comments, just ask away in the comments for our special guest.
So I don't know if Derek's the best person to ask here, but how much planning went into this? Was CoasterCon 45 at Dollywood and Carowinds, but how far back do you plan it from? Is it even further than a year back?
Yeah, as soon as Steve Berto is the events director for ACE, so a few years before an event, he'll start talking to the parks and talking to the executive committee of ACE about an idea of where he wants to have the event. And so he starts talking to the parks, and then Dollywood and Carowinds, they did host in 2012. So as soon as they found out that they were hosting again, they wanted to outdo themselves from the previous time, which was awesome for ACE members. So yeah, there's a lot of planning that goes into it. And Steve Berto, he's awesome. He's incredible. The amount of time that he puts into it. I don't know how he functions with the personal life and the day job, because ACE, it's all volunteer work. So he works hard, and he has an events committee that does everything. And then and it's just years in the planning stages.
We're already planning for next year, is what I understand. So
Has this one already been started planning even before this one happened?
Yeah, usually they have at least two out that they know for sure. Next year's, it's a toss-up between two different places, so they normally would have it decided by now, and they were going to announce it at CoasterCon, but they didn't have the finalization done. So hopefully we'll find out soon where it is going to be in 2025. But next year is in California, so you have to come out and see us in California. It's at California's Great America, Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The Giant Dipper will be celebrating its 100th anniversary, which is exciting, and then also at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom.
100 years.
I'm going to ask quickly, just because you all lived in the East and now you all live in the West, which is the better coast?
We're not going there. We're not going there.
We love both of them equally. They both have their awesome parts.
And it's funny that we're all from Rhode Island, because up until recently, we didn't know each other, or we didn't think we knew each other. But we actually did meet each other as kids, which is weird.
Were these the boys you were?
It could have been. It may have been.
No, I don't think it was that. But no, so I moved out to Los Angeles to pursue my acting career. Someone in the chat, I just want to say hi to Darcy, who saw me on the Thundermans. Hi, Darcy. Shout out to you. The Thundermans are doing a reboot right now. I'm not on it yet, but fingers crossed. But I was an actor. They were dancers. And our parents knew each other, and my father and their father worked together, and we ran into each other at the Mickey Mouse Club audition that all three of us went to, and were introduced in a very young age, and didn't meet again until just a couple of years ago.
Did you know when you re-met that you'd met before?
No.
Doug and I were on a Zoom with our parents, and we said, "Oh, we're going to meet Jessica at Knott's Berry Farm." And my dad was like, "Jessica Rabbit?" And we're like, "No, Jessica Gardner." And then he said, "Bill's daughter?" Sorry. Our dad's Bill. I told this story wrong. Tom's daughter, he said. And we're like, I don't know, we'll ask her. And then they were like, yeah, Tom hired me for my job at Rhode Island Hospital. And you actually met at a Mickey Mouse Club audition. It's like, well, we'll ask her if that's who it is. And then we saw you at Knott's Berry Farm, and we were asking you there, right?
Yeah, my jaw was on the floor. Like, nobody knows I auditioned for the Mickey Mouse Club. Like, well, now everybody does, but nobody knew.
Is that a bad thing to audition for that, or?
No, I just didn't get it, and so.
Did Derek or Doug? I'm guessing. Did you get anywhere with that?
No, we didn't get it either. We didn't get it either. It was just a fun experience because we're obsessed with that.
Oh, I don't know if we want to talk about the 325 situation now, because that happened. How long after you went did that occur?
They closed the ride down, I believe, a week after CoasterCon. So yeah, the park has released some statements about it and that they're working on it. So and I know that there's so much information out there, but these roller coasters are, as we know, completely safe, and there's so many fail safes and the redundancy. So yeah, hopefully they'll be getting it open again soon. Because have you been on Fury 325, the both of you?
No,
not been to the States.
Abroad.
It was Jessica's first time on Fury 325.
Is it your 325th cred?
No, not quite.
It should have been.
No. Not quite there yet. That would have been the ideal, but I love it. And I'll say that I'm really impressed with how Carowinds is handling the whole situation and their transparency about everything. It's just really amazing to see that from a park.
I would say a social media I've been seeing on the side, and to be fair, everyone's taking photos of it and going, oh, look what's happened. But they did the right thing, of course. They didn't let anyone on the ride. They covered it in like film or something and just said, we're working on it. End of, you don't need to know any more than that. And that's the main thing. So, but yeah, it's all good. Oh, there's a question, sorry, as well.
Okay.
So what is everyone's favorite
theme park?
Because there's what?
That's so hard. I'm gonna say it's got to be Disneyland. The original. This is the one that started it all. This is the one, Walt made so many amazing choices that affected the theme park world for years to come. I think that you are thematically speaking, and I'm a things parks that have a great theme, attractions that have great theme, roller coasters that do. So for me, it's Disneyland because it's the one that started it all.
So it'd be theme for you over thrill, because we had this conversation a few weeks back with some other people.
I think so. Yeah, I think I'm more impressed if you can figure out how to incorporate a theme into an attraction, especially when so many can. You know what I mean? Like, how many different ways can you design a drop tower? But if you can, and if you can make something interesting out of feel like you're, look at Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout and what that was, or it's got to be Disneyland for me.
Yeah. Oh, brilliant. Oh, I'm terrible with the Jones, but I went to Disneyland Paris when it first opened.
Euro Disney, yeah. It wasn't very popular.
It was called Euro Disney. Wow.
Yeah, I was just, because I just want to plug this now. We can plug it at the end of the show as well. But the Ace podcast Ride With Us, which is anywhere you can get your podcast, really. But you did a 3-part on Coast to Con there. On the final one, and I feel really bad, I can't remember your co-host's name. But
John Davidson.
You were talking about thrill versus theming on Fury, but Fury 325 didn't quite do it for you like Intimidator.
Well, okay.
Intimidator.
That's true. I mean, it has been explained to me that it's like the Charlotte Hornets, which I didn't fully understand. So Fury 325 is supposed to be B themed, and I didn't get it at the time. And it has been since explained to me that if I knew anything about Carolina history, then it would have made sense. So I may need to rescind it a little bit. But Intimidator, which is at the same park, it is so well themed. I mean, it's just phenomenally themed. So that was the conversation. But I didn't let Derek and Doug answer their favorite park.
Yeah,
I feel bad. I talked right over that.
You want to tell us what your favorite park is?
I have so many favorite parks, it's hard to decide. One that comes to mind that we visited a few years back was Alton Towers.
Yeah.
Pretty close to you, I think. Speaking of theming, I loved the theming of the different coasters in there, and then the gardens that you can walk through. I felt like it was unlike any other park I've been to. So I loved it.
What did you feel about, because I've spoken to other Americans who complained, because at Alton Towers, everything's spread out. Whereas if you go to the States, a lot of times, you don't have to walk very far to get the next ride. Did you think anything about that?
Oh, good question. I liked how it was spread out. It's, you're going to these different lands, and it felt like an adventure going through and exploring. So yeah, I don't mind that. And like how with Disneyland and how that was kind of designed where you couldn't see one land from the other land and the attractions, you feel very immersed, I feel, at Alton Towers. And it was a journey, but I liked it. I enjoyed it. I know Doug has a favorite.
Before I ask Doug, what was your favorite roller coaster at Alton Towers?
Oh, you asking Derek?
Yeah, I'm asking Derek.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. What was the question?
What's your favorite coaster at Alton Towers?
What's your favorite coaster at Alton Towers?
I think Wicker Man. I loved Wicker Man because of the theme. And then, taking you through the queue. And then when you get to the pre-show, I didn't realize there was a pre-show. And I could just watch that pre-show. It was so well done. And the lighting effects and the music and everything. So, and of course the ride itself is fun. But I think that was my favorite.
Did you ride it in the dark, Derek, as well?
It was a gloomy day and it was getting dark, but it wasn't completely dark. But we want to go back for, I guess, a Halloween time, and we can ride it in the dark. It's much better then.
It's honestly go ride it in the dark. I recommend it. So because it's just so like
And,
it's more immersive than what you think it is. I think.
Doug, what's your favorite theme park? Have you got one?
Alton Towers is one of my favorites, and also Busch Gardens, Williamsburg too is one of my favorites. I have so many favorites, but those are like two of the top ones for me.
I'm surprised Alton Towers is beating all these American ones for you. Is it just the actual?
Yeah,
it's so far away.
No.
It's so magical because you got to go on this journey to get there.
I think it's just like how Derek was saying, like the gardens and just the look of everything, and also the theme and the story that they put behind a lot of their coasters. So well done. I don't know. I love it, and I think I am Team Wicker Man too. That was
So
just doing the whole.
Everyone can sort of chime in, but I'll start with Derek. I don't know if the best way is to kind of start with how CoasterCon started on the first day. Did you have a banquet or something?
Yep. So everyone, Dollywood has the Dreammore Hotel. So everyone went to the Dreammore Hotel and registered, and that's where they have the merchandise shop where you can buy all your Ace and CoasterCon merchandise. And then they have other tables where other people are selling like their souvenirs from like the 80s and different theme park souvenirs, which I think, Jessica, you bought a Dueling Dragons hat, was it?
Yes, I have so much stuff that I collect vintage theme park merch, and I specifically collect things from grand openings and opening days, and then of course Dueling Dragons is a coaster that I loved and is no longer with us. Has left us. Oh yeah, it's over there. Maybe I'll grab it later. But yeah, I grabbed a bunch of stuff from that and buttons that said grand opening. I found a Rocky Point magnet, which was amazing.
What was your favorite thing you got from that from CoasterCon that you bought?
Excuse me, sorry.
Was it the raincoat?
Here, I'm gonna find it. Hang on.
But yeah,
I actually tried to get the raincoat after I went online to get it, and they were sold out, so I have to wait. But yeah, she was smart. She got it at the beginning.
But yeah, it's really cool. Like everyone, you see all your friends and you make new friends, and it's like that's the first time. Everyone's so excited for CoasterCon to start, and then they have different tables and activities. And there's the hat.
Hey.
Look at this.
Oh, that's cool.
So is that something you wear, or does that stay in the cabinet?
I'll wear it.
I wasn't sure if it was like I'd stay in pristine condition and you were going to keep it.
I'm not really a hat person, because then what do you do when you go on a coaster? But I had to have it. Oh my goodness, it's got the fire and the ice dragons. It's great. But yeah, this is probably my favorite, and all my Ace merch that I got, because they have a bunch of them on sale there. So
yeah, we were just talking about the famed, if you listen to the podcast, the raincoat. That saved you a bit.
Thank goodness I got that. It rained every day, not the fault of Dollywood or Carowinds. And I was surprised at how much they were able to leave open for us, even in the rain. But yeah, you definitely needed the hat. Yeah. Yes. R.I.P. Park Pulse to Dueling Dragons.
Oh, for Dueling Dragons, okay. Because he said that for a while ago. I want to ask Jessica, what was it like when you got there on the first day? Because that was your first CoasterCon.
It was my first CoasterCon, and also my first mountain coaster. Have you ever been on a mountain coaster?
Are they the same as Alpine coasters?
Is that the same thing? Yeah.
With the lever and you.
Yeah. We've been on
the brake.
quite a few of those, but not as many as you. You got the. Do you want to tell them about the pass you got?
Yeah. So there was a special offering this year that the CoasterCon events team put together, where you could also get a mountain coaster pass and be able to ride all of the mountain coasters in the area for a very low price. And so of course we jumped on it, and I'd never even been on a mountain coaster, and we got off the plane and immediately drove to try to get a mountain coaster, and there were other Ace members there at night. It was like 10, 11 o'clock at night. We're waving to all the Ace members and trying to get in all the mountain coasters. So that was exciting. And CoasterCon itself, it was just really great to be, sometimes you're at a park and you're on these coasters and you feel like especially if you're by yourself or with someone who's not as big of a fan or an enthusiast as you are, you know what I mean? There's things that you want to talk about, or like you get excited if the train is running in a certain way, and talk about, like, you could literally turn to anyone and talk to the person next to you if they had the CoasterCon badge on, and know that you could have a conversation with them about roller coasters. People are just, without even introducing themselves, just like, oh, have you been over? Because it's running so crazy right now. You got to get over on Thunderhead. It's amazing right now. Like, okay, thanks. You know, so for that reason, I really loved that.
I kind of felt like that when you started, when you said you like roller coasters and stuff, and he was coming out with all this jargon, and I'm there going, I don't know what you're saying. You know what I mean? It was just like, I can't say anything back because I don't understand it. But then over the years now, it's like gradually got the terminology, the words, and it's like, oh, I get what you're on about now. But I'm more like the theming and the way that things have been set out and the designs of things. And then you like the sort of overall of it. But obviously you go more into the technical words. So I'm like, okay.
It can be intimidating for sure. It can definitely be intimidating when you're first learning. But I feel like it's, or at least it has been for me, a very inclusive and helpful community since I've become a fan. I've only had a couple of like, you're the GP, you know, comments in my comment section, you know, and if that's the worst they want to say about me, that's fine. That's fine.
It's just nice that everyone gets psyched and excited about it and be like, you just got to do it. And it's like, oh, yeah, sorry.
I don't know who wants to take this one, because I think you probably all know the numbers, but did someone want to explain how many people went to CoasterCon last year and then how many people went this year? Because it was quite significant.
Yeah, this was a record-breaking number. Last year, there were about 850 people who attended CoasterCon, and it was at Cedar Point and Kennywood. And this year they were expecting about the same, but ended up being almost 1,300. So over 400 more this year than last year. I think there were 1,292 or something like that. So yeah, we were excited, and we were like, the park's going to be able to handle this? Is this going to be too much? But I felt like there were a lot of people, but it was still super enjoyable. You didn't have to wait in line for the rides during exclusive ride time during the ERT, so it was manageable. But yeah, we were surprised, and I think you know, the events committee did a great job putting it together, but also the social media team and the podcast, you know, getting the word out there that this was happening. I feel like that maybe contributed to the rise in attendance.
Oh, that's amazing. Like, oh, I just think that's just amazing. Like the amount of the whole community and the inclusiveness. It's just, oh, I love it. Sorry.
I had a question then.
Go on. You had a question. You've forgotten the question.
Yeah. I was going to ask Doug something, but I forgot because I was just...
I have a question. I have a question for the two of you.
Yeah.
Are you members of ACE Europe yet?
Right. I'm going to put this out there. I'm going to join. Well, I don't want to mention anything else because I'm pro ACE now. I'll put that out there. I'm part of another club, and my membership hasn't run out because that club isn't an annual fee. It's just an annual fee.
It is, yep.
This one is for 6 issues of the magazine, but they've got slow, without making them sound bad, they've got so slow at sending the magazine out. My current membership has lasted about 2.5 years because in the small print, I have to have 6 issues before it runs out. But if it doesn't run out before the end of this year, I want to join because I'm quite, I don't know if Jessica knows Joe, who does he the main runner of the European? Yeah.
He sent me
I'm quite big fan of Joe, so
he sent me a Disneyland Paris mug for interviewing him on the podcast. Yeah, he knows I collect things, so
because we're quite good friends with him, so I definitely want to do Summerfest next year.
Oh
I think
yeah,
that's the thing we're gonna get, because to kind of put it in perspective, I know we're talking about it, but for the English people in the audience, there's nothing like CoasterCon here. We've just nothing. Clubs don't do anything that big.
Comic-Con, we're getting
no, I mean in the theme parks.
Oh yeah, we don't get any like theme park stuff. We get Comic-Con and then Anime Con.
No, I just meant as in theme park groups that do events. There's nothing on the scale of because this is a whole week,
right?
And you get so many. What's the word? Not shows, but you had like conferences and things like that. You had ERTs and events.
So you have to come next year. So there are people this year from all over the world that came to CoasterCon. So it's definitely, if you can, it's always the 3rd week in June, and if you can plan your schedule around it. Yeah, it kicks off like after the hotel, and everyone registers. Everyone wants to get to the park, right? And ride rides. And this year, Dollywood, they had a first night that was unlike any other first night I think we've ever experienced. It was a 70s disco theme party to celebrate the 45th anniversary of Ace, founded in 1978. So we all dressed up in our 70s attire, and I had a 70s mustache, which I like that you use that for the promo. The only time I think I've ever had a mustache was like for 5 hours. There were some pictures taken.
He's like, I
but I
don't
like that.
with this.
I like that you use that. So yeah, Doug and Jessica dressed up, and they looked awesome. A bunch of people dressed up, and it was the most fun opening night. And Dolly Parton, she wasn't there this year. She was there in 2012, but she was over in Europe promoting her new rock album. So they had a video screen, and she came out on the video screen and she welcomed everybody to CoasterCon, and it was really cool. And then she introduced the band. It was an ABBA tribute band. So then we danced all night to ABBA songs until it was time for the roller coasters. And then we hopped on the roller coasters after the park closed for the regular day guests, and we got to ride the roller coasters without lines into the night.
Did you like still dance on the roller coasters as well as the music's going up?
We were so pumped and excited. Yeah, the Wildwood Grove area, they had that open, which with the new Big Bear Mountain roller coaster. So yeah, you could hear the music and dance your way along the track.
I could just imagine you go, "You are the dancing queen" when it launches on something.
Yes.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, what's this?
I was hoping.
Oh, go on then. Sorry.
What am I looking at?
This is what I'm looking at.
I don't
It
know.
looks
Derek,
like
Derek
a
sorted
sauce.
me out some photos, and I thought,
A type of cinema?
Oh, is that the business meeting or
Yeah.
yeah?
Someone front speaking.
Maybe.
yeah, we're not meant to see that.
I looked at it now.
It's the
Sorry.
business meeting.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, there was the ice sculpture, and they had so many Easter eggs for Ace all around the park, which was really cool. So in the Fire in the Hole attraction, Blazing Fury, they would have a little 45th anniversary logo over there, and on that ride on Mystery Mine, when you're going up the second lift hill, there usually is a different projection, but they projected the Ace 45th anniversary logo, which was incredible that they did that.
There's so much detail, honestly.
Yeah. They went all out for us. Everybody at Dollywood, especially, they went all out. It was really amazing. They thought of everything. We got little gifts every night, which I was like, can we expect this always at every coaster?
I have a lot of the gifts right here if you want to see any
Ooh,
of them.
Yeah, show
This
them.
is a CoasterCon commemorative coin that they made,
Oh,
which is very cool. And they gave us pieces of Thunderhead, the wooden roller coaster.
Oh
were-
my
Yeah, and
gosh.
they've actually got
And they have, and they gave us these. Oh, I have a T-shirt that they gave us, which I don't have right
Didn't you
here.
have, didn't you have free refills when you with those cups as well?
Yes,
Oh, the
which is so nice of them.
T-shirts.
Yeah, and on the
Yeah.
back it lists all the coasters, and it was
Yeah.
so detailed and thoughtful.
Wow.
Yeah, love it.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, look at that. Is that al fresco?
It's al fresco,
Yeah.
yeah.
How's that picture? They're both vegetarians, and I think that's gross. Anyway.
I think it's a fake pig, actually. I think
Okay,
it
as long as
real.
it's fake.
Yeah.
Oh, there's some vegetables. So is this,
That's what we ate.
That's what I had.
so is this on the first
Uh-huh.
day?
Yeah, they had the huge buffet that day.
And an ABBA tribute band called Dancing Dreams. It was just
Those
so.
are quite big in the States.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thanks to especially Mamma Mia, the musical, which is huge over here.
My first memories of them were like Derek and I really didn't know them that much, but when we worked at the Rocky Point Amusement Park gift shop in Rhode Island, our friend Shireen, she would play their sound music all the time, and that so I always associate them with Rocky Point, which is good memories.
Oh,
That logo was on everything, and Adam Gooddyke, he's from the graphics team of Ace, and he designed the logo. So it was so cool to see his logo everywhere. Even on the dessert.
We've got a question here. Sorry if I just nudged the microphone.
Sorry,
there. It's from the Hush Hush family. Good to see you, by the way.
I've got a flash of hat in a minute.
It's easier. Questions for our cousins. We can't wait to get over to the USA. If you could pick 3 parks in the USA to visit in one trip that are fairly close to each other, which would they be?
I got one. I mean, I feel like your top 2 choices are Orlando or Southern California. Obviously, if you go to Orlando, you've got all of the Disney parks. You can get to Busch Gardens, Tampa. You've got the coasters at SeaWorld Orlando now are unbelievable. I think there's 7. I think they have 7. They're building an 8th, which is really amazing. Or you got to come down, and there's more parks even in Orlando. Or in Southern California, hit the thrill capital of the world, Six Flags Magic Mountain, my home park. Knott's Berry Farm, Disneyland, Disney California Adventure. You could even take a little trip down to SeaWorld San Diego, super fast, 2-hour drive.
Universal Studios Hollywood just announced their new roller coaster.
Oh, that's right. Of course, Universal Studios Hollywood. So it's like Magic Mountain in terms of like the drive. It's like Magic Mountain, then you're not listening. Magic Mountain, and then Universal's a little bit south, and then Knott's is south from that, and then Disneyland, and then you get down to SeaWorld San Diego, Legoland, Disney Place.
So the West Coast is better?
Not necessarily. They're equally good.
I see what you're trying to do here. I see what you're doing.
So this was the dancing, was it?
Yes.
For the ABBA?
Yeah, ACE members love roller coasters and they love to dance.
And
I love the way they actually got your dance floor on top of the stones.
Yeah, they tried to squeeze on there, and then by the end of the set, the whole area erupted into dance, so it spilled over, and we weren't just confined to that small dance floor.
A bit of an ABBA mosh pit, maybe.
I've got another question here. I do apologise because I'm absolutely loving this show, but I keep forgetting to look at the comments at the moment. Coasting with the Joneses asks, what's your favourite Woody, like your wooden coaster?
Oh, it has to be Wicker Man, doesn't it?
So,
does Derek want to go first? What's your favourite Woody, Derek?
Yeah, you go.
Such a tough question. I loved Airtime on wooden coasters, and the wooden coaster in Vancouver, Canada, that just celebrated an anniversary. And that's an awesome coaster because you just get thrown out of the seat. You feel like you're not going to stay on that seat for most of the ride. So that's one of my favorite ones. I think that's one of your favorites too, Doug, or no?
That's a favorite. It's hard to pick. I love Phoenix at Knoebels, classic. I love Lightning Racer at Hershey Park.
Yeah.
And Wicker Man, of course.
Wicker Man, yeah, to mention that.
Mine is definitely Giant Dipper at Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The fact that it's 99 years old and still rides amazing, and doesn't. I mean, it can, wooden roller coasters can be painful, and that's my least favorite thing about wooden roller coasters is I get migraines pretty easily, so I get nervous about like head rattling, neck rattling, But Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk is just so fun, and it doesn't hurt too bad.
The Beast at night is awesome, unlike any other experience. At the Beast at Kings Island in Ohio, when you're going through the woods, that's one of my favorites too, the Beast at night.
Oh, I've got family in Ohio. I thought I'd add that. I was like, Ohio!
So what are these things you're holding?
Records.
These records?
Yeah, those are records. They're like the placemats at all our tables, and they put the ACE 45 logo on all of them.
Oh, I wasn't sure if it had actually had some special audio in it, and that they were giving them out.
Maybe I haven't tried.
I haven't tried it.
There might be. Maybe it's a like exclusive Dolly Parton song about Ace and CoasterCon.
I think it is.
I would be really upset because mine broke in my luggage. And I had to throw it out.
Oh no!
We grabbed a few extra.
Are you meant to tell us that, or is that meant to be secret?
They were free.
They were free, yeah, and people left them at the table. That's at the photo. That's in the Ace Lounge where we got free soft drinks.
Oh, is that the competition?
Yeah, and that's the photo contest. That's me next to my award-winning photo that I took at Wallaby, Belgium.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, did you want to tell everyone where you finished? Because you.
Oh yeah. So there's a photo contest, and I think maybe there are about 100 entries, and this was my first time entering. And I always thought you just like emailed them the photo and they printed it out, but it's all volunteers, so of course not. Like that'd be so much work for them, but they do an awesome job putting on the contest. But yeah, so we print out the pictures, photos, and we bring them, and then they post them, and then everyone votes throughout the first few days.
Oh, amazing.
And
It's really cool to see them
Do you want-
all.
did you want to tell everyone where you finished, Doug? Because you finished quite high up.
Third. I came in third place, which was crazy. I didn't expect to. That was the first time I entered, and I almost didn't enter, but Derek encouraged me to.
Was there a bit of rivalry between you and Derek with that?
I don't think so. He won the short video contest, which was the first time that they've had that at CoasterCon, and he came in first in that, and I came in third in that contest. There are only a few entries, but
Did you have to have like certain rules, like filters, no filters, or when you had to take part in the competition and stuff? Or...
for the photos, I think it's just a size. Just there's got restrictions on what sizes. There are certain things you have to keep it in, and then for the video, for the short video, it's just under a minute, and I think that was the only one really.
Yeah.
And then there's the regular video competition, which is very entertaining to watch, and there are lots of entries into that one.
That's really good because you can incorporate the creativity and everything, and just be like, bam, we can do this, can do that, can do that.
Yeah, it's so neat. There's so many creative, talented members of ACE, so it's cool. There's the winning competition. It was Luke from Canada. He did it was 9 to 5. It was a parody of 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton, but it was Fury 325, and he was dressed as Dolly Parton and sang an original, creation, like a Weird Al version.
Are these voted for by all the members that are there, or is it the ACE team that vote? Or
it's all voted by the members. So anyone who is at the business meeting and the show, seeing all the videos, they can vote. I was almost late for it. I got the time wrong, and I was like running through Dollywood racing in, and the didn't let me in. But I
bang on the door.
It was basically that. Derek was like at the door texting me. He's like, "You have to run."
Yeah, they weren't going to let you in.
if he hadn't got in, would he have not been allowed to take part in the competition?
His video still would have been voted upon, but yeah, he wouldn't have been able to vote. So they're very strict with that. Well, not too strict. They were letting some people sneak in, just to watch the videos. But yeah, it was an awesome day. And there's a picture of us with Preston Perks from SNS, who that Scream and Swing is my favorite flat ride from SNS. So it's cool to actually ride my favorite flat ride with someone from that company. And he was awesome. He gave a presentation on all of SNS, and he talked about the Axis coaster that they're working on. And then for the ACE Fall Conference, which is at the end of September, it's up in Utah at Lagoon Park. But then on the Sunday, we're going to SNS, and some people are going to be able to ride that Axis prototype coaster. So I don't know how we're going to make that happen, but we want to get on that.
Because I'll cut to the photos because it's kind of related. While I'm trying to find the photo, I just wanted to ask Jessica quickly, what do you feel about the more intense flat rides like this? Are they your thing, or do you not like them?
It depends. As long as it doesn't, like, I once got sick from a pirate ship ride, so I avoid things that like have that sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like when it goes over and over constantly. But something like I love a drop tower so much. I love a flume. I'm not super big on like the just try to make you throw up teacup type of.
It's perpendicular forces.
Yeah.
How do you feel about spinning coasters then?
I'll ride spinning coasters. Just not if it was continuous, I'd have a problem. But usually they're, yeah.
So, Derek, did you want to talk the people at home through how you managed to climb this Fury 325?
Oh my god!
You had to. There was a special set of requirements, wasn't there? That you were very lucky.
Yeah. So they there's a huge part of preservation and fundraising that goes on during CoasterCon, and there was like $18,000 or more raised during different auctions. So there was an auction. There were auctions you could enter to win a chance to walk the lift hills of roller coasters, and you could walk them at Dollywood. People got to walk the lift hill of Lightning Rod and different coasters. And then when the opportunity came up to get some raffle tickets to go potentially win the raffle to go walk up 325 feet up to the top of Fury 325, I was so nervous, and I gave them my money to get some raffle tickets, but I was kind of hoping that I didn't win because I didn't want to walk up there. I was a little scared, but I walked up there, and they it was quite a view, and it took about 15 minutes to walk up there, and it felt a little more secure than other lift hills that I've walked up where we weren't harnessed on, but there they gave us a little harness, so we were attached to the side there. And so we all walked up, and it was pretty foggy when we were walking up, but then when we got to the top, the clouds opened up a little, and then
photos comparison,
and then looking down, you could see the whole park. And I guess they don't go up there that often, the workers, or they don't take people up there. So it was a special opportunity for ACE members to get to walk up there. So it was pretty incredible. And wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. Walking up was pretty nerve-wracking, but once I got up there, I felt a little comfortable. But then coming down, and you can see that view, like all those stairs, I was holding on probably tighter than anyone else to that railing.
Like a toddler, where I'd like sit on the seat and then move my legs forward, type of thing. When I ever did it.
Was it shaking much at the top? No.
It wasn't. It wasn't very windy that day either, so that probably helped. But it felt. It didn't feel like you were really moving or shaking at all. It was almost surreal, almost like you weren't up that high.
A couple of our viewers are thinking that you're very, very brave, because they said, "Oh wow, I'm not sure I'd be able to walk up there."
When you said walking down was worse, right?
Yeah, and the photo on the right, because on the podcast, the ACE podcast, Ride With Us, which is anywhere you get your podcasts, Jessica mentions that they make it so you get quite a good view through the steps, and if you look on the right, you see the steps are quite not transparent, but they're kind of grated, I guess. So you can actually see the ground quite well through the steps.
Even now, that's making me feel a bit dizzy. So and
that picture was about maybe halfway up. I feel like it wasn't even like all the way up in that one. But Jessica let me use this cool thing that it was. You attach the phone to this. Was it like a necklace type thing that goes around your neck? And then, so I wasn't worried about dropping my phone. Other people were holding their phones over the edge, and I was like, oh no, I wouldn't be able to take any pictures. So luckily I had that. And then Jessica was so nice. I liked it so much, she gave me a nice surprise when I got home. She ordered me one. So I appreciate Jessica's awesome.
All right.
And then we got to see the control booth, which was cool. It was a little behind the scenes, and there were so many behind the scenes opportunities during CoasterCon where you get to see things that the regular guests don't get to see. So definitely a highlight.
Did you get to dispatch a train?
I didn't. There was an ACE event recently that they got to dispatch the trains. Was it in Texas, I believe? That would have been cool, but we could just look, but we couldn't touch.
And I just thought this was an enthusiast shot. I thought I want to put that in.
Yeah.
All right, just that nerdy stuff we love.
And then you got a tour of, which ride is this?
Boo Blasters.
It looks like all haunted.
Yeah.
I like the artwork, actually.
It was creepy walking through there because it's like you think the ghosts are actually gonna be there. Everything's quiet and you're walking through and it's creepy, and there are all these set pieces. So that was pretty cool to see. And I guess they're redoing the attraction. They're upgrading the attraction. So in the future it'll be a little different. But it was neat to see all the props and walk along the track. A different opportunity than usual.
Do you think there's someone coming out from behind the little tombstones?
I felt a cold chill. But people were jumping out and scaring each other. Yeah, they were. How could you not?
I think I'd be one of those people.
I know you would.
Was this one of the projections you were talking about earlier? That they changed the mapping projections for the logo?
Yeah,
I think this
was
is
that
a different one, but than the one that was on the ride, right? Or this was on the outside of.
It looks like
Yeah.
the outside.
Yeah, I think that was on the outside, yeah, projected. Yeah, so that you couldn't go anywhere without seeing that 45th anniversary logo.
You're gonna miss it now. Now that it's like done, you're gonna miss that logo.
I'm getting it painted in my apartment on the wall so that I can relive it.
Does Carowinds upkeep Boo Blast as well? Park Pulse is asking.
Upkeep Boo Blast.
Yeah, we rode through it, and I think Doug got the high score. So yeah, there was a lot of props that you could shoot, and it's an aging ride, so they are planning on improving it. And Clayton Lawrence, he is from Cedar Fair, and he gave an awesome presentation during CoasterCon, and he talked about some of the upgrades. So it's they keep it up pretty nicely, but it's even going to be more enhanced soon.
Oh wow!
Lightning rod, my favorite.
And you got to ride this at night, didn't you, Jessica?
Yes. Oh my goodness. I get to have that view. You can't really tell from this photo, but we were able to walk to the top of this mountain. Of course, Dollywood is in the mountains, and we get to walk to the top of this mountain, basically be eye level with the top of the lift hill, which is insanely high, and take these beautiful photos. But nothing compares to riding it when you launch up this hill and then have that big drop. There's this amazing bank where you literally feel like you are gonna, you feel like you're gonna fall out. Like, no, it's going for so long. You're like, how long are we banked for? I mean, it was really fun. And riding it at night in the rain, just what a great experience. There's just forest all around you, and the wooden coaster was really awesome.
I get such a buzz from that. Yeah. Sorry.
Dollywood seriously has just world-class coasters. Every single, I think I said it on the Ride With Us podcast too, that I have no notes for any of these coasters. Like, they're all phenomenal. I was so impressed with everything. So
I just wanted to ask Doug, because you're the manager of the ACE social media team, are you sort of more on the job than the other members, because you're having to get all these pictures and things for socials and talk about the trip while it's going on?
It's pretty collaborative. Like, we're all kind of doing it. Even though I have that title, like, Derek and I are always working together, and Jessica, and she'll like create some content and send it to me to upload, or we'll do it together. So yeah, it's although there are times I feel like, especially going into this CoasterCon, I was like, I said to them and other people too, I was like, we have to make sure that we are spending time having fun and not just working, which it's fun work, but it's still like, you want to be riding coasters and not having to get that photo or interview for Jessica or different things. So but it's definitely a team effort. And then also we bring on more people for CoasterCon, so there are more volunteers. So I feel like this CoasterCon, it went well, where I did a lot less work than I did last year, and I got to enjoy it more.
It's definitely a challenge. As a content creator myself for the theme park ads, I find myself having to find that balance of, you're at a theme park and you want to have fun, but also you're creating content and getting videos for later and everything. Thankfully, whenever I'm with Doug and Derek, they are always fun. If you go with the right people, you can't help but have fun, even if you have to have your phone out. And also they never judge me for pulling my phone out and taking 20 coaster videos.
Of course.
That's the best company though ever, isn't it? Because it's like, you just got that mutual sort of interest in doing things like that. So it's like, it's just a breeze. It's just absolute breeze.
So I'll ask Jessica and then I'll go across, but are you excited for the reimagined Top Thrill Dragster?
Yes, I am dying to hear what they're planning. I've never ridden Top Thrill Dragster, if you can believe it. It's one of the bucket list coasters for me, of course. And but we have at Knott's Berry Farm Accelerator, which was like the version like 1.0, right, of it. And that's my favorite coaster, maybe in Southern California, honestly. And that's been down for a while. So I'm very, I have a lot of anticipation for that to come back. But yeah, whatever they're going to do with Top Thrill Dragster, I know there's a lot of people who are upset that it's changing at all. But my understanding was it had to, right, Doug and Derek?
Accelerator is the factor's probably changed now, but I always remember that coaster because the fact it's the only one that approaches the top hat from the left.
Oh, you might be right.
The only one in the world that does.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I always remember about that. That's why I always remember that coaster. I've not been on it. I always remember that track.
That's a fun little did you know. I'm gonna write that down.
Yeah, good factoid.
You have to put it in the next podcast.
Yes, there's got to be a TikTok about it too.
We'll make a TikTok. Did you know?
Doug, are you excited for Top Thrill Dragster?
Oh yeah, I'm very excited. I love Top Thrill Dragster. I loved it, so I'm super excited to see what they're doing to it. I can't wait.
And Derek?
Oh yeah, of course. I see the pictures that they're posting on their Cedar Point social media.
Oh,
Color scheme.
Oh no! Oh,
he's back.
Is he back?
I think he's back.
Oh,
Yeah.
And Bainham Solutions is painting it, right? Was that what I saw?
Yeah, Bainham Solutions. They do an awesome job with the painting. I think they're going to be at the Ace Preservation Conference in New York and talk to everybody about how they refurbish rides now and everything they do. So yeah, but yeah, I'm super excited for it.
Just want to put B&M in, really.
Speaking of B&M, do you actually know about the new Nemesis track as well for Alton Towers?
Have you seen the paint job that's
What do you think about it? Because someone asked earlier on in the comments, and I do apologise. That's what I've been scrolling back to see as well. So
I think it looks great. Like I love like a reimagined, refreshed anything, and to see that, it seems like it will be really cool, especially at night. You know, if it's lit up a certain way. Do you all think it looks good, or you prefer the old one better?
There's a lot of talk. Some people think it's not been announced that it might have UV paint on it, so at night it might look totally different. I think it's the kind of thing after one season, depending if they look after it, it might.
Hopefully it'll be maintained.
I hope it gets maintained. Yeah, that's the only thing.
But then I want it to have black light. That's just probably me.
That might not actually happen. I've said that.
I think for me, I want it to have black light because I think that'll just really emphasize more on the theming. But that's just me.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be really neat.
Oh my gosh!
I don't know if Jessica's seen anything about Nemesis. If she knows about Nemesis.
Well, I feel like I should be quiet here because I've never been to London, but I'm going for the first time in 2 weeks.
Hey.
So I think I'm going to Disneyland Paris first and foremost because that's bucket list for me for sure. And then I think with my short time that I'll have in London, my plan right now without a car and with limited time is to go to Thorpe Park. So I know I was really wanting to go to Alton Towers, but my understanding is that's not a very simple.
Thrills.
Sorry,
it's got the thrills, but the theming. Well, it's got good theming, but it's sort of. I'm trying to go on what Derek talked about earlier. You can see most of the park from wherever you are, if you see what I mean. So it's not as immersive as Disney, but it's actually got some quite decent. It's got the Walking Dead roller coaster and Saw the Ride.
I think you'll like Swarm.
I'm excited.
Yeah, the Wing Rider.
So that's the one I should go to
as well.
Is that the one I should go to over Chessington? Because I feel like those are both easier.
Chessington is more for if you're probably better off going to Thorpe Park if you can only go to one of the London parks.
Okay. Any advice in the comments? I'll read them. I'll take it.
I guess usually it's
These were the drones at Dollywood, weren't they? I think. I hope I've got that right.
Oh, I haven't seen that photo.
Yeah, so they had drone shows at Dollywood and Carowinds, and it was really cool. During the drone show at Dollywood, they put up CoasterCon in. Oh, there it is, CoasterCon 45, and everyone, you could hear everyone cheering for it. That was really cool that they did that.
Mm.
Do you prefer the drone shows to fireworks? I'm sort of getting the idea myself personally. I prefer the drones. I just think it just looks. Maybe because they've not been around as long as fireworks, obviously, but to me, just in awe of it.
Why not both? I love a combination of the fireworks and drones together.
As
You
a
know,
dog owner, I'm liking fireworks less and less. But at parks, they're great and beautiful. But the drones, I think, are such a fun novelty. I mean, they had a butterfly that flapped its wings over the coaster. I mean, that was just, it's really amazing what they're able to do with drones. So,
And it was so cool during that part. They started with "I Will Always Love You," Dolly's version, and then I think the butterfly came on, and they switched to Whitney Houston's version. It was really well
I was
done.
crying.
I was going to say, did you have a tear when that happened?
It was beautiful.
See, we had the fireworks Alton Towers last year, and they just started with a couple of drones, haven't they? But they actually did like a little roller coaster with like the carriage moving along it.
Oh, that's cute.
I thought that looked so cute. But obviously they did a heart as well.
It's a lot simpler over here at the moment.
It's a lot less.
The parks
drones,
only just started
course,
doing it last year, really.
Yeah, a lot less drones, but it looked quite nice. I thought magical.
I wonder what the price difference is. That's something I'd love to know. You know what I mean? The price.
Well, over time, I would have thought drones would probably be a better investment. But...
Yeah, it seems like it.
And better for the environment and the whole thing. I don't know.
True.
Definitely.
I'm trying to think.
You're right.
I was going to ask a question about the end. Was there a big sort of event at the end of the week?
Yeah, we had one last ERT at Carowinds, and it was Fury and the Drop Tower and Hurler, and they had a band that came out and was playing, and lots of ice cream and cookies. That was our big send-off. It was awesome.
And there was supposed to be a big drone show, but it did rain. And some of our members got to ride on the parade float for Carnival, which was really fun for them, like right before the big last party, which was fun.
That's so cool. Go on.
Well, no, it sounded a bit depressing. I was just thinking, how did it feel after when it was done?
Gosh.
How did you?
I slept.
Derek, want to go first?
Yeah, after a week of seeing everybody and just riding roller coasters nonstop every day, and then coming home, it's like, oh, it's a very big difference. I miss everybody. I miss being at the parks. But I did get a lot of sleep. We actually went to our parents. We went to visit them in Rhode Island because we had a DJ in Boston right after CoasterCon. So we were super exhausted. So I think the next day we just like slept the whole day. But yeah, CoasterCon, you don't get a lot of sleep during CoasterCon because you have that morning exclusive ride time. You get to the parks like 6 or 7 a.m. and then you're there until midnight. And by the time everything wraps up, so it was not a lot of sleep. So yeah, I missed everybody, and I can't wait till the next event.
Was there a bit of relief that you as a team you'd done it and you'd done a great job of it when it was done?
Yeah, I think while you're there and just seeing everyone have a good time and the smiles on everyone's faces, that makes you feel like, okay, we did our job. And then to hear people's comments and see the posts on social media that people are had an awesome time and all the memories. So yeah, and Steve Berto, who's the events director, he wants to make sure that everyone else has a good time, and he puts them first, and I think everyone did have an awesome time. So yeah, it was gratifying.
And that's probably hard to see now. Okay. That's what's potentially going to be happening next year for Ace Europe.
Springfest, Parc Asterix, and Parc St. Paul in France.
And Summerfest
hopefully
UK
going to be a
load of UK parks, yeah.
Scarefest, Heidi Park, Germany.
Yeah.
And then Winterfest is Leesburg.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Leesburg, I'm saying it right, Sweden.
Yeah.
So is anyone...
Eliza?
Are any of you planning on coming over for Summerfest?
I want to, for sure. And then we could see you both. So that would be a lot of fun. And then there's also going to be an ACE international trip next year. They're going to different parks in Germany and I think over to Poland. So they announced that during CoasterCon. So yeah, but yeah, I would love to go over there. And maybe, Jessica, you'll have to go back for another trip over next year to the UK.
That sounds amazing. So I have a sneaky suspicion that I'm going to fall in love and want to live there. Just with my actor heart, getting to see Shakespeare's Globe, and there's plenty of parks over there that I'm excited about and need to try. So if I don't move there, then I'll have to just visit a lot.
Take a gap year.
We'd be sad to see you move, but at least we'd have a place to stay next year.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Although I'm reading that there's a stand-up pirate ship, and I'm not riding that.
I am. That sounds so cool. I didn't even hear. I don't think I've.
We've got the only stand-up coaster in Europe, but it's not very comfortable.
I like a stand-up coaster. I especially
great.
like
Haven't you? The Shockwave.
Yeah.
How was it?
Oh, what are you asking?
Shockwave or?
Yeah, Derek. Yeah.
Yeah, I loved it. That unique Heartline spin on a stand-up coaster. Yeah, unlike anything else. So yeah, we love stand-up coasters, and Pipeline at SeaWorld Orlando, which is a new take on stand-up coasters, is incredible. And unlike any other experience, being lifted up off the floor of the coaster train, it's so unexpected. And even when people talk about it, like, you still don't know what you're going to get into until you get on it. And then it's just like your mind is blown. Before
I wrap this up, I did want to talk about, just because I thought it sounded like quite good fun. I'll ask Jessica, and then Doug and Derek can add to it when they want. But did you want to talk a bit about the Midway Olympics?
Oh, yes. Well, you asked them previously if they were competitive against each other, but as a team, I thought we were pretty great. Unfortunately, other people were better. So what the Midway Olympics is at CoasterCon. They put this together every year. It doesn't cost anything to enter. You just have to have a team and have a team name and show up. And so it's about teams of, I think you at least have to be 2, but you can be up to 8, I think, but only a certain amount of people can play each game. And basically you get to go to the midway of Dollywood where all of the games are and play. You get to take a turn and try to beat other people's score a different game. So, getting in the basket, which is really great because, how many times have you looked at something and said, I would try that ring toss game, but I don't know about spending the money to try it when I don't know if I'm going to be any good. I wish someone had that in their backyard, or I wish I had some extra time. And so that's what this was great for. I will never play the ring toss on a soda bottle game because I don't think anybody from any team got a ring on a soda bottle, but a lot of people were, Doug included, were able to knock down like a pyramid of cans, and so that one maybe I would do again. But it was fun. We did not win or place, but we were close. I was proud of us.
Yeah, and we did so much better than I thought we would.
Mm-hmm. But you won the memories.
That's right.
That's the main
thing. And we got some practice then.
Doesn't matter if you lose, you win the memories and your pride.
Right. Also, a lot of people won the basketball game. Anybody who thinks, oh, those games are rigged, they're not winnable. They are winnable. They have to be. That's a common thing that people say in comments. I've seen they're not winnable. They're all rigged. That's against the law, or at least here it is.
Thing. Darcy said if Jessica comes to Tower, she would be happy to show her around as long as she gets all the fundamentals.
Oh, that's exciting. I'll let you know when it's happening.
I don't know if, did Doug want to add to the Midway Olympics?
I thought Jessica did really well. The whole team did so much better than I was expecting. But yeah, she won. She beat like 10 people. We're all playing this kind of skee ball thing. We had to roll balls up and had to move like the horse along. Yeah, fascination.
Mm-hmm.
And you won that. And then Derek didn't do so well. There was one with you where you were fishing. It was a fishing game and you had to take a fishing line and he just grabbed the fish and he wasn't trying to be funny or being like efficient. He just didn't know how to do it. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, he just grabbed it with his hand and took it out.
Yeah, and they weren't real fish, of course, but it was
like a stick.
I was confused. No one explained it to me.
I don't think you're paying much attention. I think Derek wasn't fully focused on that because he wanted to like go see a show or a ride or something. I think there was like a Dolly
wanted to get over
show
it,
that
just
was
tell me.
starting, so I think he was preoccupied with that. And of course, all of his work for Ace, he was running around and participating at the same time.
That's like one of our, it reminds me of one of our friends where it's like, you have to slowly take this crystal out of this Dalek in this
it's a Doctor Who thing,
Doctor Who experience.
It's an actor-led experience.
You must take it out slowly. And then our friend just comes along and goes,
there you go. He's like, he was meant to build up that this Dalek was going to move when you took it, and he just took it out.
Reel it in. And no, there we go.
Derek, did you want to add anything to the Midway Olympics?
Yeah, it was so cool to see that so many volunteers from Ace, they're on vacation and they're having a good time, but also they're donating their time too to help run the games and keep score and everything. So a big shout out to all the volunteers who participated, like not only during the Midway Olympics, but through the whole week. The whole thing is, run on volunteers on the Ace side. So yeah, the volunteers are awesome.
It's just Ace. There you go. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, and I wanted to say too, so you can be members of both clubs, different clubs if you want. You don't have to pick one or the other because we're members of both clubs.
I am planning on joining Ace because
no pressure.
And we've got the Summerfest coming up, and I want to try and make it as good as close as it can be to CoasterCon for us.
Yeah, we just love that community feeling during it.
But,
we have another question actually. What's your bucket list coaster? And just to let you know that Ben and Holly's Theme Park Adventures are actually going to be at Thorpe Park in 2 weeks as well. So, in case you want anyone that you know.
Thank you. I might
have been on our show before.
Bucket list. Okay, then.
So bucket list coaster.
Derek, got a bucket list coaster?
I think Formula Rossa in Abu Dhabi, the fastest roller coaster on earth. I've never been to Dubai or anywhere over there, and I would love to go on that coaster and just see the whole area in general. So that's probably mine.
Yeah.
Doug?
Yeah, Abu Dhabi. And then everyone always talks, is it Flying Turns? Is that the coaster that everyone always raves about there?
Or Flying Aces?
Oh, Flying Aces.
Aces, yeah. I've heard of Aces.
Yeah, I was gonna.
I hear and see things on social media from stuff,
Jessica got a bucket list coaster.
I said mine was Top Thrill Dragster, but since that's not available right now, there's a coaster, and I'm trying to remember the name of it, but it's at Fujiku.
Fujiku, yeah, I know.
Is it Ichinika?
That's the one.
That's like X2, but
I can't pronounce it, but I watch POV footage of that coaster all the time, and I just think it looks amazing. And so that
you'll love it.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up, I'm going to go with round you all again. I'm just going to ask you each one by one, if I assume you'd know it, what your current coaster count is, and then I've got your link to the description, but if there's anything you want to promote before we wrap up. So Derek, do you want to go first?
I think my current count is 1,216 coasters, but this Saturday there's a fair up like 2.5 hours from here near Santa Barbara that they have a roller coaster that isn't normally like out on the circuit, so we're going to try and go to that, maybe, if Jessica, you want to come.
Yes.
So that might be the next one. And then we're going to go to there's a new dark ride that just opened in Monterey, so next Friday we're going to go with Jessica up and check that. Treasure Hunt the ride, and then Playland just reopened in Fresno, so I think we're going to go there. So maybe we'll have a couple more coasters.
Your coaster count is nearly as much as the amount of people that attended to the. That's just immense. Like
one coaster for each person.
Yeah, that's amazing. Honestly.
Is there anything you wanted to promote?
Just if you haven't checked out Ace, ridewithace.com, and then all the socials are on there, and you got to listen to, of course, the podcast and everything. And then Doug and I, we DJ. That's our regular job. So theperrytwins.com. And
yes.
but But yeah, thanks so much for having us on.
Good. Yeah. Doug, what's your coaster count? Is it more than your brother?
Oh no, it's a lot less. It's 1,150. I just checked. So yeah, I I got some catching up to do. And like I went through a long period of time where I stopped counting because like I didn't want to focus on, I don't know, riding coasters that, maybe small kiddie coasters that weren't as exciting. I want to like focus on just re-riding the ones that I really want to enjoy. But yeah, I went back. Derek keeps a track of all of his. He takes a picture of everyone and posts it on Facebook. So I went through and I subtracted the ones I hadn't gone on and I figured out my count. So yeah, 1,150.
It's just the coasting with the Joneses saying, how do you remember which coasters you've been on?
Use an app.
With a count that high.
Use an app.
Like,
is there anything else?
Does it differently, but I use Log Ride. It's an app where you log your ride. Get it?
Mm.
So what's your coaster count?
So it's so embarrassing compared to.
Is it 325?
I didn't know coaster counting was a thing until just a few years ago, and then I had to go back and try to figure out. And so right now my count is at 176. Which I still think is good and impressed, considering I've never been to Cedar Point and I've never been to an amusement park. Well, that's not true. I've never been to, you know what I mean? I've never been to the UK. Like, so are really out of the country. I went to Prater Park in Vienna when I was 12 on like a cultural exchange program with my dance studio, but I don't think there were any coasters there. So my count is 176. So road to 200, hoping to get there by the end of the year. I think I definitely will. And to promote, obviously, the Theme Parkettes is my, how before I became involved in ACE, that's how they kind of found me.
There's the link for it in the description as well.
Yeah, so I have it. I'm mostly active. I post a TikTok video every day. I try to also post to Instagram and Instagram stories and post something different over there. So there's a reason to follow me on both. I'm at Theme Parkettes and at the Theme Parkettes. Yes, it's plural. There's just one of me, but you can be a theme parkette too. If you are someone who loves theme park history, theme park tips, and just positivity and not making fun of anybody who likes all of the things that we like. So I promote that. And then also I am a working actor. So I would say to please everybody support the writer's strike. SAG-AFTRA, we're going on strike. That was just announced at midnight here, which is really scary. We're going to start picketing on Monday. So times are rough here right now for the entertainment industry. So any way that you can just show support, even just liking and thumbs upping, that sort of thing, the industry will come back, but it's really scary right now. But I also have my actor page, actorjessicagardner.com, if you just want to see what I've been up to. Thankfully, there's a project that I worked on that will still come out, which is really exciting. That is being announced at the end of this month, and it has something to do with the UK. I'll tell you that. Ooh. And I'll be promoting it. I think I can say. I think that
that's the only thing you're not allowed to. We don't want to get you in trouble.
Yeah, I can't say anything, but it does have to do with the UK, and I'll be promoting it at New York Comic Con this year, and I've never been to New York Comic Con, so I'm excited for that. So assuming that if we're on strike, I won't get to promote it, but hopefully we won't be on strike for too long. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you. And by the way, Perry Twins, I'm sorry, I'm obsessed. I have you on Spotify, so that's what's good. I just love it. I love the tunes.
Next Thursday we've got Coasting with the Joneses on because it's the third Thursday of the month, which means it's another what we call a lounge episode where we do beer reviews and quizzes, and we take a kind of tongue-in-cheek look at the theme park news from the past month. So there's going to be some stuff to catch up on, and this isn't going to mean anything to our guests, but on Monday is the grand final of Attractions Ultimatum, which each week we have the same panel on and we discuss which ride goes through, and this season was number 1 defunct UK ride. So in the final on Monday,
we've got Corkscrew versus Toyland Tours, both of which were in Alton Towers.
So that'll be happening on Monday. at
So
7 p.m.
this will be very interesting to see what goes off. Which one will be through to the very final? It's going to be an interesting one. You don't want to miss it. Join in if need be.
And the final
On the
thing
chat.
is
Right
we've
there.
had him on before. We did US May, where we had US guests on every week, and when we had a couple of people talking about Disneyland, there's this British artist called Tim Summerfield, and he did an acoustic cover of You're Welcome from Moana. Now I've got an original song from him, so that's going to play the show out.
Okay.
Nice.
Thank you all for
Yeah,
watching.
thank you for coming on, because
Give
you're
us a
busy
thumbs
people.
up. If you've got any more questions, you're quite welcome to put them in the chat as well, and I'm sure our guests will be able to answer them along the way. But yeah.
Just, thank you for coming on. It's the middle of the day over there,
everyone.
isn't it?
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Great to see you.
It's going to be a running joke, I think.
It's so
but
lovely to see you again, honestly.
does
It's
it-
amazing.
does anyone know our catchphrase? No.
So we'll see you,
In the rear view.
because for now.
We're gone.
Stand over the precipice, staring down the sharp side of the night. Could have cut the air into shreds that become butterflies. Would the blade be worthy of such sacrifice? Would you hold the hammer to the nail? If the nail was forged out crystal clear, his eyes would explore the depths of another life to defend what's precious in your life. Teacups and roses and high walls there behind our eyes. Pull back the shroud and you'll hear us. There's no need to fear us. No. Go back to the shadows you came from. Hold out your hand and exploring you might find. There's so much more than these troubles in your life. Will I continue this bitter life? Oh, colorblind. Would you crawl through dirt to reach paradise? Did a thought ever occur what you're leaving far behind? Forsake this world as a piece in our time. We'll keep our roses, your dead could fuel your fires. China teacups and roses and moonlight walls there behind our eyes. Pull back the shroud and you'll hear us. No need to fear us. No. Go back to the shadows you came from. Hold out your hand and exploring you might find. There's so much more than these troubles in your life. Will I continue this bitter life? Oh, will I continue this bitter life? Ooh, stay colorblind. Ooh, stay colorblind. Colorblind.